On the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, this is Tiger Talk, presented by Bud's Classic Barbecue, located on 9th Street in downtown Columbia. Also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now live from Bud's Classic Barbecue, here's your host, the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly.
Welcome to the show. We're inside at Bud's Classic Barbecue on 9th Street in downtown Columbia. Coach Eliah Drinkwitz is alongside. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll visit with Missouri's tight ends coach. Durham Ko will join us, former star at Dartmouth. We'll talk to him about his career and coaching tight ends, and we'll visit with one of his tight ends. To close the show, Brett Norfleet, the native of O'Fallon, Missouri, will be with us coming up at about 7:50. Missouri is on the road again this week. Tigers travel to Mississippi State. It's the fifth ever meeting between the Tigers and the Bulldogs. Series tied 2-2. 3:15 is the kickoff from Davis-Wade Stadium coming up this Saturday afternoon. Our coverage begins at 1:15 here on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield. Missouri ranked number 23 this week in the college football playoff poll, which just came out moments ago. So congratulations to Coach Drink and his Tigers, now 7-3 on the season after going on the road and losing at South Carolina in an exciting game this past Saturday. Inside of Bud's Classic Barbecue on 9th Street. Barbecue done right opens 7 days a week. Let them do the cooking while you make the memories. Hey, and did you know that the University of Missouri has partnered with Matrix Midwest for an exclusive pre- and post-game show every week before the game? Watch Mizzou Live, presented by Patient. Check their local listings, and we're glad that you're with us on Matrix Midwest tonight as well. With that, let's say good evening to the coach. Coach Drinkwitz, how are you tonight?
Good evening. Yeah,
you got the entire family here tonight.
Yeah, and moral support. No, doing great. Man, just got done with an awesome practice. That was probably as spirited as an energetic a Tuesday practice as I've seen in a long time. And just talks again to the resiliency of our seniors, our captains, in the way they want to continue to play and play for each other. So excited about that. It wasn't perfect, but, man, there was a lot of really good energy and excitement there.
Doesn't it also speak to the culture that you've built inside that locker room?
Yeah, I think it's to the culture they've built. You know, we kind of put parameters around it, but it's up to them to develop it, right? It's up to them to forge it and put it together. And it starts with Ryan Russell and then Atia and Evan and Chandler and player development, and then obviously our assistant coaches developing relationships. But gosh, Saturday was disappointing. But man, if you didn't walk out of that stadium proud of our football team's fight and effort, being down 14-6 or 21-6 or whatever it was, those guys come out in the second half and just play. I mean, we didn't punt offensively in the second half. Defensively, gets multiple stops, fourth down stops in the same drive on the same fourth down. It's crazy. And, we just came up short. And that's part of it. That's part of life on the road in playing in SEC, big-time game environments. They just made one more play than we did. We had our opportunities. We go through tail of the tape on Monday, and at the end of the day, offensively, we were 2 for 5 in the red zone. You're not going to win on the road not scoring over 50% touchdowns on your red zone trips. And so that's something we have to improve. And then, for as important and as much as we talk about the middle eight, to give up 14 points in the middle eight and then to give up 14 points in the fourth quarter defensively, we left those plays out there. And so there's no finger pointing. We all just realized, we got to be a little bit better.
Yeah, and it started well, too. Brady comes in, he makes the start, returns. We'll talk about him in just a moment. But on that first series, man, you come in, you move the ball right downfield, and then had to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, and third down, make a route adjustment, and just can't quite make the throw that we have to make right there, and end up having to settle for a field goal. Defense, bust a coverage on the very first play of the game, and then we bust a blitz assignment, and so it's a bad start. That's a bad start. And then drive right down the field and have to kick another field goal. And, that's just not a recipe for success. Again, really proud of the way we came back in the second half, but got to be better.
Look at your quarterback. Let's spend some time talking about him. 21-31 in the game. Throws for 237 yards, has a touchdown, a late interception. But just your impressions of what Brady did for your team and what emotionally perhaps his return meant to the entire football team.
Well, I think it gave us a lot of confidence going into the game, and I think it gave us a lot of confidence coming out of halftime. Like, guys, we're right where we need to be. We got to make a few more plays. We got to stop them on defense. So I think that the team realized, as long as Brady's at quarterback, we're always in the fight. And so, they feed off of that. I think people were trying to play through injuries. I mean, how many guys on our defense play with a club? I mean, we're playing like with 9.5 guys back there with, but they're all
November football, right?
Yeah, they're all giving us everything they got and fighting like crazy for each other and for our football team and for the university. And I think that's a mark of that's what you want. This day and age, college football. It's rare to find people that are really, really playing for each other and playing for the university, and I think that's what we got right now.
I want to underscore that because this afternoon, Drake Heismeyer met with the media.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it was fantastic, and particularly what he said about, they asked him, well, why have you stayed? He said, because it's important for me. It's always been important for me to be a part of the family at the University of Missouri. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He said, but it was also important for me. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for my teammates. And I'm in it for the fact that I want to get a degree from the University of Missouri. If that doesn't speak to the nature of that young man's character, I don't know what does.
We have a sign in our team room, embrace your role, put the team first. And I think Drake Heismeyer embodies that to a T. His role in the past is to be our shield on punt, and he does an excellent job with it. I mean, if you had all conference, all shield, he would be it. But he happened to get beat out by a really good center, but he stayed ready, always prepares, and now it was his turn. And, man, we played really well up front. I think Nate Noel had 150 yards rushing, and I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage against one of the better defensive fronts in the SEC. And it's a tribute to his preparation and embracing his role and willing to put the team in front of his own deal. And like he said, he's always wanted to get a degree from the University of Missouri. He's going to get an engineering degree, and he's a great ambassador for our program.
Without question. That's
and hopefully he'll donate some money to us as he continues to hit it, big.
Hit it big. Well, okay, so let's go back to his freshman year. When the NIL deal came out, he was one of the first. He got an NIL deal, but do you remember he was donating part of that money back to his teammates?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So again, just an unbelievable guy.
Yep.
Mizzou Athletics would like to thank its premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance. We come back to Bud's Classic Barbecue after this with Coach Eliah Drinkwitz on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
There's coverage, and then there's more coverage. And that's Bovolus Vista Once SQ, the most comprehensive respiratory vaccine covering more causes of BRD. It covers IBR, BVD types 1, 1B and 2, BRSV, PI3, Pastorella multocida, and Mannheimia hemolytica. And as for BVD type 1B and Pastorella, no other vaccine covers both. So don't wonder if you could have done more. Do it with Bovolus Vista Once SQ.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Tigers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Tiger Pride, powered locally.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
We continue from Bud's Classic Barbecue with Coach Eliah Drinkwitz here on Tiger Talk. By the way, our final football show of the season. No show next week because of Thanksgiving. We'll be here, though, the rest of the night tonight is we'll be joined by Durham Ko at the bottom of the hour, Missouri's tight ends coach, and then Brett Norfleet will close the show, the Tigers tight end from St. Charles County. Gentile is the apparel provider of Mizzou Sports Network. Check out their new collection of Mizzou apparel available at gentileapparel.com or at Bingham's in downtown Columbia. The next time you're in town for a game, Gentile Apparel is a proud partner of Mizzou Athletics. Coach Drink is alongside for the next couple of segments. Missouri on the road at Mississippi State. Second trip to Davis Wade as a member of the SEC. Last one took place, final game of the COVID season. Played in December, by the way. Yeah, December the 19th.
I distinctly remember that one. That was not my favorite memory.
Yeah,
that was a tough one. We didn't perform it the way capable of playing, and I do have a fond. I mean, that was the last time that I remember interacting. Well, that's not true, but I interacted with Coach
Leach, yeah,
and talked to him before the game and obviously after the game. So. Yeah, I helped him get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he beat us, so he's got one more win to get in there than he needs, But I will say this, you're talking about the last radio show of the season. We tell our guys in August, these are the best days of your life. And the days drag on, but the months and years are going to fly by. And, man, that's this season. Mm-hmm. This thing has flown by. All of a sudden you got 2 games left and then a bowl game. And this is there's some guys out there that, that have been a big part of my journey at the University of Missouri. And we got 2 weeks left with them, and then a bowl game. And that's just, it's emotional because those guys mean a lot. What they've done to this program, for this program, has been really, really special. And just, it's just one of those deals. You realize these are the best days of your life, and they meant a lot to us.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it is emotional. Anytime you close the regular season with senior day, and it doesn't matter the group because that locker room will never be together again, and obviously that means a great deal. There are 5 freshmen that are true freshmen that are playing. That there will be no red shirt. They'll have the opportunity, or at least it appears that it's tracking that way. I wanted to talk a little bit about them and maybe what separates them just a little bit. What about Trajan Jeffcoat, Trajan Greco.
Yeah.
A safety. Jeff Ko played here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
6 with Jeremiah Beasley. Here's a guy that's it seems like he's on every special team. You see him all over the field.
Well, I think that's one of the things that we kind of gauge with our young guys is how can they help us on special teams, and if they can prove that they can play on special teams, and they can, just like the NFL, it ups your status of where you need to be in the depth chart. And Greco is one of these unselfish guys that plays on special teams, does a lot on the coverage units, really good on kickoff return and great on kickoff coverage. He's one rotation away on the kickoff coverage from knocking the reverse out inside the 10-yard line, which would have been an unbelievable play. But he's got great instincts. Nick Rodriguez, man, he's come in, with Khalil's injury. He's a guy that has stepped up right in there and makes plays and has done an excellent job on kickoff coverage and on punt. Kewan Lacey, man, looked dynamic in that game in his series, and we've got to continue to find ways to get him the football. I look forward to him having a package in every game moving forward. He's the future at that position. We got to continue to develop him and Jamal. Jalen Brown and Williams Nwari. Woof. I mean, those guys look the part. They play the part. They both got different strengths. Jalen Brown's going to be one of the best field defensive ends that we've had here. Him and Zion next year will be as formidable a duo as there is. And then Williams in the boundary has really grown and developed. And Coach Early's done a really good job with his pass rush. We just got to continue to bring him on. Jeremiah Beasley, a guy that got here late, went to Michigan for a semester, decided this was home, has been excellent. We did inside drill today, and Jeremiah and Nick were wearing Brett Norfleet out. Oh, sorry, Brett, just kidding. They were just getting after guys, and it was awesome. It was awesome. And so the future is really strong. And as much as, I'm really, really proud of those seniors, it's really cool because there's some guys that they're passing that baton to who represent the brotherhood. When you think about Greco and Nick and JB and Kewan and Jalen and Williams, brotherhood's in good hands. And I know those seniors are looking back going, okay, yeah, we're going to be able to come back. Just like D-Rob came back Saturday and was proud of us, these seniors are going to come back and say, man, I'm really proud of this group.
Can you tell when you recruit a kid that this is a kid that's going to play right away?
Sometimes. Sometimes. Luther, you knew.
And I'm curious, what distinguishes like these guys from the other? What is it? Is it based on
sometimes
need?
It's just opportunity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just opportunity. There's other guys that are really good players that just maybe there's not a special teams need for them to play, or necessarily they just don't have the opportunity because the depth in front of them is stronger than other positions. But these guys. Nick Rodriguez has always been made of the right stuff. Just the way his demeanor, his command, his physicality. So that one doesn't surprise me. We knew Kewan was a dynamic player, ball in your hand. I think it's always easier to play early the further you are away from the ball or with the ball in your hand, because that's just God-given instincts when the ball's in your hand to make a play. So I think there's some dynamics like that. The closer you get to the football, the harder it is to play early. Nick and Jeremiah to play in this league with the physicality of this league, that tells you a little bit of something about their toughness.
It's Eliah Drinkwitz and I'm Mike Kelly. More from Bud's Classic Barbecue up next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store is your official store of Mizzou Athletics. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day. Located at Faroe Field or at TigerTeamStore.com. It's black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
At MediaCom, we believe no matter where you live or work, you should have access to fast, reliable internet. That's why we're one of the first in the nation to bring gig speeds to every customer we serve. Why we invest billions of dollars into our network. And it's why you can always count on MediaCom to deliver 99.99% network reliability. The fact is, it doesn't matter where you are. With MediaCom, you're always moving forward. Network reliability based on the 2022 MediaCom Executive Summary Outage Exception Report.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it. Times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
At Country Financial, we make insurance easy, whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more. Our representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Continuing from Bud's Classic Barbecue in downtown Columbia, I'm Mike Kelly. Coach Drinkwitz is with us this next segment. Coming up the bottom of the hour, Durham Ko, Missouri's tight ends coach, will join us for a couple of segments, and then we'll visit with Mr. Brett Norfleet to close the show. Looking forward to that. Tiger Talk brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 6 of the last 7 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Tailgates for the 24 football season on sale. Let Revel XP set up your turnkey tailgate steps away from Memorial Stadium. They're filling up spots quickly, so call them today at 355-573-355-9572. Tigers on the road this week. Missouri heads to Mississippi State to take on the Bulldogs, a team that is winless in the SEC, but 2-8 overall. First-year head coach Jeff Lebby, who was at Oklahoma a year ago, is their head coach. We talked a little bit about the 3:15 matchup at Davis-Wade Stadium coming up. You said today this is a football team that's better than their record indicates, and that they may have played one of the tougher schedules in the SEC.
Well, they played Arizona State, which last time I checked, they're ranked in the top 20 right now, playing for the Big 12 championship. Right. That was hard to say. They played Florida, which is actually a really good football team. They played Tennessee. They played Texas. They played Texas A&M. They played Georgia, and they played Arkansas. Every one of those teams has a winning record in the SEC. And they've played consistently tough in all those games. They score points at a high rate. They play good defense, multiple defense. They've got good football players. They got a lot of pride in their performance. And they're getting better. Their quarterback, a true freshman, every game is playing better just because of the reps. And Coach Lebby has always been a guy who's found ways to score points, maximize his offensive potential. They got a great wide receiver named Kevin Coleman, who's from St. Louis, St. Mary's High School, teammates with Jamal Roberts. I mean, he is a dynamic player. I think he leads the SEC in receptions. Really, really good football player. The running back is a downhill physical runner that creates yards after contact. So our defense is really got a tough challenge. And then offensively, we've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage consistently, but we've got to finish in the red zone. And they actually do a really good job in the red zone defense. So it's a difficult matchup. Obviously, that stadium is a challenge. Playing in Starkville is a challenge. You know, you stay in Tupelo and then travel down on game day. You know their fans are going to be there. The fans that are going to be there are always loud, cowbells. You know, again, we went down there. We were up 7-0, muffed a punt, and from that hit down, I tried to block out the rest of that memory for the rest of that game. Just did not play well at all. And So we got to go redeem ourselves.
What do you think have been some of the factors with not being able to get off to quicker starts in the first half of games, particularly in the league? Does it come down to third downs? Does it come down to penalties at the wrong time that can become drive killers? Is it a combination of everything?
Yeah, honestly, that stat caught me by surprise. I hadn't really paid attention to that, mainly because two of the 6 games have been anomalies with the A&M and Alabama game, and then the injury to the first drive to the Auburn game. So I think some of that plays into it. Some of it is, our style of offense, specifically the outside zone, takes a little bit of time to get going. Some of it's inconsistency in performance on third down. So you got to look at all of it. Obviously, that's not a key ingredient to success. You got to start fast and establish what you're trying to do and accomplish offensively. So, it's something that in the off season we'll have to definitely pay attention to and figure out what do we need to do better in order to improve that.
I want to talk a little bit about their 2 linebackers, Stone Blanton and Nick Mitchell, and just the job that they do, a number of tackles.
Yeah, Stone Blanton played in the league last year at South Carolina, does a really good job, physical player, multiple. And then the other guy moves around a ton and really is kind of what I think is the kind of glue to their defense. It plays both in the odd front and the 4-down front and blitzes and has really good command. So they've got a good core of linebackers. Their nickel plays and I think leads the team in tackles with 100 tackles. So they've played a lot of football. It's going to be up to us, like I said, to really do what we do offensively as far as convert third downs, convert in the red zone, take care of the football, establish the line of scrimmage, create explosive plays. So we've got to match the offensive prowess of the other team, and that's been the challenge to the offensive staff and to our offensive players is it's time for us to play our best game consistently. And obviously I felt like we got into a really good rhythm in that second half. We got to carry that forward. Why Durham Ko? When you were trying to add to your staff, why did you want to bring him on board? Yeah. So Durham, I knew about Durham from Coach Hamden. Durham was the tight ends coach at the University of Washington. And then, their staff got let go. He went into the private sector for a year and then decided he still wanted to coach football, took a job at Maine. And again, like I said about Brian earlier, I appreciate guys who've had to earn it their careers. And Durham's one of those guys that's had to earn it the hard way. Nothing's been given to him. Nothing's been easy, but he loves football. He loves impacting kids, and he loves coaching kids. And he's one of those guys that's early to the office, late to leave. I have to tap him on the shoulder and tell him to go home. He still doesn't listen. He stays up there. He's always watching tape. You can ask him about any clip, and he can go get it for you. He's done an excellent job with our tight ends, getting them to play physical. I thought our 3 tight ends Saturday, man, they played their butt off, and they played physical football and really were instrumental in keeping those defensive ends off balance. And so he's done an excellent job for us, and really appreciate him in the investment he's made into Mizzou football for the last 2 seasons. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything this season. M-I-Z. Z-O-U. That's Eliah Drinkwitz. I'm Mike Kelly. We're back after this. The aforementioned Durham Ko, Missouri's tight end coach, joins us next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
There's coverage, and then there's more coverage. And that's Bovolus Vista Once SQ, the most comprehensive respiratory vaccine covering more causes of BRD. It covers IBR, BVD types 1, 1B and 2, BRSV, PI3, Pastorella multocida, and Mannheimia hemolytica. And as for BVD type 1B and Pastorella, no other vaccine covers both. So don't wonder if you could have done more. Do it with Bovolus Vista Once SQ.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Tigers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Tiger Pride, powered locally.
If you want an inside look at Mizzou basketball that you won't get anywhere else, you want the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast.
Josh, great. Just effort paired with your God-given abilities. So when you mesh those two together, it's a beautiful storm.
Grace Slaughter.
When I was young, I looked up to lots of Mizzou women's basketball players. So to actually be in that position I looked up to when I was younger is just super special.
Subscribe today to the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Original content, plus replays of Tiger Talk and more. The Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast, presented by Shelter Insurance.
Tiger Talk continues from Bud's Classic Barbecue on 9th Street in downtown Columbia. Show your swagger with a Tiger checking card from Central Bank. It's the only place for Tiger checking. You can open it today at www.centralbank.net. Mizzou football proud to partner with the Missouri Credit Union and Hy-Vee in an effort to sack hunger in Missouri. For each Tiger sack during the 24 season, each partner donates $300 to the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. He is in his first season on Eliah Drinkwitz's staff. Tight ends coach, please welcome Durham Ko, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you. Thanks for being here tonight and taking time.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
I look at, I've talked with coaches before about how nomadic and experienced coaching can be, right? Where you can find yourself making multiple stops along your journey, right? And yours is no different than a lot of other coaches where you've had multiple stops along the way. Just what is it about this profession that you love so much that you've been willing to sacrifice, not only time from the family, things like that, but your willingness just to go wherever you have to go just to be able to have a chance to feed that need?
Yeah, I think first just love for the game, right? Coming up, it's just a big part of my life. High school coaches had a big impact on me, and I just fell in love with it and just, thought about it, just ate, slept, and thought about 24/7, just loved it. So I think that's the first thing is just finding your passion. And then, I think the second part of it is just, watching, helping, developing kids, like seeing the last guy I had at Washington, right, Cade, and his success at the next level, and just playing a part in that. And it's just it's a pretty cool deal to see guys go on and grow and have, big time careers on Sunday, and just helping kids, take the next step in their life.
Where did you grow up?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep. And then you went to Dartmouth, and you were a four-year letterman, played at Dartmouth, yep. 3-year starter. Just Ivy League football. Just tell us about Ivy League football for those that don't know anything about it, other than the fact that we know it's a lot of people with a lot of smart students that are playing the game.
Yeah, a lot of slow people. Not very good players, but no, it's a cool experience. Obviously, a lot of history in that league. You play in some pretty cool places, the Yale Bowl, at Harvard. It's awesome. Unfortunately, you only play 10 games a year, but it's a chance for somebody like me to get in Ivy League school, which probably shouldn't have happened, and so I took it and got a chance to play ball, and it was a great experience for sure.
Some have said there's a charm about it, though. There's a charm about the Ivy League.
Yeah.
In terms of the sport of football, did you find that as a player?
Yeah, I think just playing in some of the the historic stadiums and playing those rivalries, right? Ours is primarily Princeton, and just kind of being part of those games. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool about to be kind of at the birth of football, right? With Rutgers, for instance, being the first game.
How does a former defensive tackle become a tight ends coach?
Yeah, so my first job was opportunity on the offensive side at Dartmouth. It was the only spot open. I went up actually as a strength and conditioning intern, and it was kind of a way to get my foot in the door. And then wanted to get back on the defensive side. Went back down to Vanderbilt as a graduate assistant on the defensive side, and then I just really like the offensive side. Just the just like the schematics part of it, and kind of fell in love with it.
Are there coaches that you tried to study that worked particularly with tight ends as you were making that transition to be a position coach of that room?
I don't know if it's tight end specifically. Obviously they're coaches that you watch from afar and really appreciate what they do schematically and from that perspective, and really appreciate what they do from just their philosophy. And I think the big ones for me, obviously we're a wide zone team here at Mizzou, and just kind of the Shanahan tree and those guys in the NFL. I would watch Coach Drink a lot when he was at NC State and App State, and we didn't know each other at the time, but he was one of the few teams in college that was really kind of building his offense around the wide zone with him and Coach Lefford, Dwayne Lefford, and just so I would study them from afar as well. And those are probably the big ones, the Shanahan guys.
How did that conversation come about where it would eventually bring you to Columbia, Missouri, to be a part of his staff?
Yeah, like Coach said, we kind of worked with the same type of people. Right. Scott Huff is one of them. Bush Hamden. And when myself and Coach Moore, we've known each other, been pretty close since 2016 when we were both at Washington together. When he got the opportunity out here as the offensive coordinator, they had an analyst position open up, and then Curb called me and had a conversation with Coach Drinkwitz, and here I am.
Well, and it's cool too that the rules changed, that allowed more people to be on the field. So that was advantageous as well, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Awesome opportunity. You heard rumors. You didn't know when it was really going to happen, and just appreciative that did take place, and Coach gave me an opportunity for this year, for sure.
Do I sense that you have two special guests over to our left that might be watching your performance tonight?
I don't think
they're not here.
No,
okay.
They didn't come.
Okay, I didn't know if you had special guests here tonight or not.
That's good.
I didn't know. I'm just asking, folks. Don't get on me. More with Durham Ko coming up after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
It's game day, Tigers. Score a touchdown this fall with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines from right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home field advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it. Times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
At Country Financial, we make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, our representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox from the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store is your official store of Mizzou Athletics. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day. Located at Faroe Field or at TigerTeamStore.com. It's black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
Tiger Talk continues. This is our Socket Assistant Coaches Interview brought to you by Socket Fiber, the most reliable internet. Durham Ko is with us. Time now to talk about the room, the tight ends room. We're going to visit with somebody that's a little bashful over there. Where's number 87 coming up in our next segment? Calling attention to himself. In case you didn't know it, Brett Norfleet is seated right over there, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. How would you describe this group of guys? Just overall, personalities, etc.
Yeah, very different personalities. It's an awesome room, though. I think everybody really gets along really well. Really has each other's back. I mean, they're a fun group to coach. Tough kids, play through anything and put it all out on the line, and just really proud of them. And I know Coach Drinkset mentioned it. I thought last game was the most complete game as a unit. I know not a ton of stats, on the stat line, but just from a run game and some critical point of attack blocks and kind of taking the next step from that perspective against a really good defense in a hostile environment. It was really good to see that growth, and particularly from Jordan and Brett, right? Two younger guys, sophomores. It seems like they played a lot of football, right, for how much they played last year and going into this year, and just trying to continually to push them to take the next step in their game and continue to grow as players.
Is there an identity that you'd like your tight ends to have consistently each and every year?
Yeah, just, I think the biggest thing, tough, hard-nosed players that are assignment sound and make plays when their number's called, right? Just kind of lunch pail dudes that, if they get targeted, they're going to make the play and make it happen. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing we want to hang our hat on, and the identity that we want to carry.
What's your personality in terms of as the game is going on? Like, for instance, Jordan had a drop earlier this year in one of the games. Just he comes to the sideline. He thinks he probably should have caught the ball. What's your message to him in terms of moving on to the next play?
Yeah, I mean, it's just this play mentality, right? It's not worth worrying about stuff that happened in the past. You can't control it. There's enough stress in those environments in SEC football games. For me as a coach to be screaming at them for dropping a pat, right? I mean, I think that's kind of a waste of time and energy. If you're not giving them coaching points or giving them information to help them improve, and versus just yelling at them, I mean, that's the kind of approach I try to take. Is like anything I tell them, it's either a technical improvement or an assignment improvement to help them. Take the next step.
Tell us individually about the room. I want to talk about and begin with Jude James. Just a guy that is an undersized tight end, but is on the field a lot in special teams and things like that.
Yeah, Jude's really come a long way. Hadn't really played the position specifically in high school, but he came to camp and was really good at our individual camp. Coming into his senior year, and then did awesome in our 7v7 and just loved his competitiveness, and that's kind of carried on as he's gotten here. He's really grown into the position as the years progressed. Really excited about his future. I mean, he's definitely got a unique skill set, can do a lot of things. He's put on weight, getting bigger. He's up to he's like 230, 235, I believe right now, and has the ball skills, really natural in space. So I think, he's definitely going to carve out a role for himself in the future if he just keeps working and kind of doing what he's doing. And obviously the special teams value he adds is big time too.
Wood Haver's a young man from Joplin whose father played here at the University of Missouri, played basketball. Just a thought on that young man and how he's progressing. This is his first season here.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of light years ahead of when he first got here. I'm really proud of Whit, just in terms of his footwork, getting inline fits. I mean, he's taking huge strides and, getting bigger every day. So he's going to be an awesome kind of point of attack guy, and really excited about him too. Those guys have done awesome. It's fun to see them, once training camp ends and, you start to focus on some of those, the guys that are playing, they're still taking steps to improve every week, and you can see the growth throughout the season, which has been awesome.
What are some of the adjustments that young players have to make playing that position? I mean, what are the hardest things for them from the transition from high school ball to college?
Yeah, I think it's such a unique position, right? We ask them in this offense to do everything, right? I mean, you look at us from a formational standpoint, we're very multiple. We'll split them out, we'll put them in line. We ask them to get the point of attack, backside, perimeter blocking, pass blocking. And so a lot of high school offenses, right, they excel in one specific area. And so really kind of bringing up their all-around game to be able to perform in all the areas that we ask of them. And obviously we try to put them in situations to, highlight their strengths and minimize their weaknesses. But I think that's the biggest thing. And then from a schematic perspective, I do really think on offense, besides the quarterback position, tight end is probably the most challenging from the schematic position, right, in terms of having to know run game, ID, right, protection ID, routes, and all the details that go into that. So just getting guys caught up from that perspective, too, is a challenge.
How much growth have you seen in Jordan Harris this year?
It's unbelievable. I mean, the kid's played, I think this is like his third year of football. Right. I mean, he's a freaking dude, man. He's just a tough guy, puts his face on people, comes to work every day. Love coaching him. Quiet kid, goes about his business, and very, very, very just, by the book, taking copious notes throughout the meetings, and he's dialed, and it's been awesome. I mean, he's taken a significant step this year in terms of play time and done really well with it. Gets better every week.
What about Tyler Stevens?
Tyler's been awesome. I think he's kind of, old vet of the room, kind of glue of the room. He's just kind of treats every day like a professional, and ask him to, he's got to know a lot of different moving parts, right? If we have 2 times in the field, he's got to know both positions, because, right, in terms of giving those guys a breather, he could be in either one, and done a really good job within his role this year. And again, man, he's an awesome guy too. Doesn't it
speak to his character too? Because here's a guy that transferred from Buffalo, had an opportunity to play quite a bit as a starter in his first year. Those playing opportunities maybe have dwindled a little bit, and he's become more of a backup role. But it hasn't impacted his attitude at all, has it?
No. I mean, it's. Yeah, not at all. I'm telling you, he's a great kid, and has handled the whole situation in a really professional way. He still goes out and practices hard every day, still really attentive in meetings, and it's nice to have a guy like that where, if you need a guy to give one of these guys a spell, you can put him in and trust him, and, he's handled it really well for sure.
How about Brett?
Yeah, Brett's Brett, I guess. Him and Jordan, they're it's funny, man. They're super close and very different. Called Brett Big Goofy sometimes, but he's a special athlete. I mean, he's obviously a big kid, really good in the run game. Got a really natural feel that a lot of young guys don't necessarily have. But then, obviously, using him in the pass game, the way he can run routes, his ball skills, kind of everything you want from a tight end, in terms of makeup and skill set.
Durham, thanks for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad you're in Missouri, buddy.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Durham Ko, Missouri's tight ends coach. Brett Norfleet joins us after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at GreatSouthernBank.com. Member FDIC.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at McGruffPSA.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Yes! I finally got my first phone!
It is exciting. Let's learn a few things about online safety first.
We can secure our world. Online security depends on you and me. Install updates, make better passwords. Think before you click. Use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
Tiger Talk on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Durham Ko. Missouri on the road coming up on Saturday. Tigers play at Mississippi State. 3:15 is the kickoff. Our coverage begins at 1:15 here on the Central Bank Tiger Network. He wears number 87. He's from O'Fallon, Missouri. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Norfleet. Great to see you, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for taking time. You get your own little cheering section over there to the left, just hanging out.
Yeah,
here to see
roommates.
You. Yeah. And do you want to, share any roommate secrets about, who doesn't pick up, who's a little messy?
Sam Horn, Brett Brown, and Brady Holman don't pick up anything. I basically clean the whole house. We just got a cat, and I take care of it a lot too. So, I love those guys, and I'm glad they're here for me. So.
But you're the responsible one of the group.
Yeah,
without
for sure.
question. Yeah. Why does that not surprise me? We just had Coach Cato on. He's in his first season being around you and the rest of the people in that room. Just what has it been like for you to get to know him and work with him this season?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm very thankful that he's my coach. Coming from Washington, he actually recruited me at Washington when he was there, and the guys that he's coached. So whenever he speaks, I'm just all ears. And he puts up with me and the guys, and you can't ask for more. So
you're from O'Fallon. Obviously, just a couple hours away. I know your family's big Mizzou fans. Was there ever a doubt in your mind where you would eventually end up?
Going through the recruiting process, I just think, it was a big thing for my mom and dad just to, see every school. And I was just thinking to myself, at the end of this, I just know that I'm going to be a Missouri Tiger. I hated the road trips and all that. I hated the photo shoots. And I think it was right before my junior year of high school, I just wanted to get it over with. And that's when I decided that I was going to be a Missouri Tiger. So.
You were a great baseball player in high school as well. And there was some thought that maybe you try to play baseball at Mizzou as well as football. When did it become obvious to you that you needed to focus on football and football alone?
So baseball was actually my first love, and then in high school I wound up tearing my throwing arm. I tore my labrum in my throwing arm, and it took me a while to get back on the mound. But my senior year, I was able to get back on the mound. I was able to get back to doing what I loved. And then my freshman year here, I didn't expect to play as much as I did, but I did. I was banged up here and there, going through a full season in the SEC, and then we get that week off, and I think the baseball team had to report 2 or 3 days right after we were off. And at that point, I was just I'm just going to stick to one sport, because if I were to play baseball, I would have had 2 days off. If I didn't, I would have had 3 weeks off. So, that sounded good to me, and I'm very, very glad that I made the choice. So.
If I were a general manager starting a baseball team and I had, to pick between two pitchers, am I taking Sam Horn? Or am I taking Brett Norfleet?
It hurts me to say this, but you probably want to take Sam. I love Sam, I guarantee you, if I never would have gotten hurt, though, I probably would have thrown harder than him. And he knows that, but he just refuses to accept it. So,
what was last year like for you to come in and obviously a freshman getting an opportunity to play, season develops, you start having more successes, the team has more success. You end up becoming a freshman All-American. What was that process like for you going through that last year?
Last year was great. Obviously being Cotton Bowl champs, but being a freshman and coming in and being able to produce, not knowing like if I was going to fit in or not knowing if the guys were going to accept me. I just think going into my first year at camp, making some plays here and there, then starting to earn all the guys' respect, but then also leaning on the guys that have been there for so long. Take our room for example, Tyler Stevens. I lean on him, and then guys from last year like Javon Foster and Xavier Delgado. You don't want to fail for those guys. So,
talk about the impact of your mom and dad, right? So we all have people that help us get to positions in life. What have they meant to you in terms of giving you this opportunity and helping you acquire this opportunity to play football at the University of Missouri?
I'm very thankful for them, and I love them both. They are actually watching right now, so
give them a shout out.
Hi, mom and dad. But yeah, they've been there every step of the way. Every home game, every away game, they're always there. They always come and find me before we go into the stadium, and then they always come and find me after. And that to me is just a big thing, because when I'm out there on the field, I know that my parents are up there supporting me, and I know. And at the end of the day, I'm playing for Mizzou, but I'm also playing for them. So.
I got a chance at the St. Louis Caravan event to meet your mom and dad, and also Grandma, which was a treat. Absolutely great people. Yeah, fantastic. Got a chance to take a picture with them, and so it was wonderful to get a chance to meet them. When I ask you, what does the brotherhood mean to Brett Norfleet? How do you define that?
I think we're all so close. We can put the pads on, we can go out and practice and hit each other, but as soon as the practice is over, we're all in the locker room. It's not one group here, one group there. We're all so close and tight, and that's something that you probably don't get everywhere. You got the offense and the defensive guys hanging out with each other, and that it's very special. So.
Who drives that? How do you accomplish that?
You lean on the older guys, the guys that have been through it, the guys that try to share the vision of the team, and then just holding us to a higher standard. So.
One final question. We've got about a minute left. The day belongs to Brett Norfleet. Nothing's on the agenda. You have nowhere you have to be. How are you going to spend that day?
So first, we're probably going to sleep in. Okay.
Big surprise.
That might put me waking up at 10 or 12, and then we'll probably get some food here and there. Then we might hang out with the roommates a little bit, take the cat on a walk. And then
with a leash?
Yeah.
Do we use a leash? Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
And then we'll probably throw on a movie. Okay. And then after that, we might go outside and play some pickleball or something like that. Then we'll wrap it all up and do some homework.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Brett Norfleet. It's great to see you. You did a terrific job. I appreciate it. Go get a win at Mississippi State this weekend. It's Brett Norfleet, and I'm Mike Kelly. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Brett, also with Durham Ko and Coach Eliah Drinkwitz. A reminder, Missouri plays at Mississippi State on Saturday, 3:15 the kickoff, 1:15 the coverage here on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.